the real question is, can you see me? Can you hear me? Because according to OBS, I am dropping from in the green to in the red like that, and I have currently dropped 44.5% of my frames on the starting soon screen where nothing is moving. You can? Okay. That's at least a good start. Right now it's in the green. I have limited my sending rate from 6,000 down to 4,000 for the past 2 streams. I literally I had changed absolutely fucking nothing. And all of a sudden I just can't maintain my frame rate to Twitch. It just will not hold. Can see in here, excellent. Look good, excellent. And I just, I am beyond frustrated because I go to make clips and it's all ooh, 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 because it's stuttering because I'm not connected well. I have, for the entirety of my Twitch career, for 3.5 years, streamed at 1080p, and now that Twitch is introducing 4K streaming, I refuse to drop from 1080p, because if they can allow people to stream in 4K, I should have no problem streaming in 1080p. The last time I tried to update my graphics card drivers, Seamus, they told me that there were no updates for my graphic card, which was like 6 months ago. Stuttering a bit, yeah, see? And it's because it's dropped. I'm dropping frames again. It's definitely on my end, Carrie, somewhere. I have double-checked our internet connection, and it says I have 588 up, or 588 down, and 11.68 up. 11.68 is plenty to stream, but it's not where we're usually at. However, I was having the same kind of dropped frames at 20 up. So I don't know what's going on. I don't have NVIDIA. I have an AMD processor. I have an AMD. But the other thing is, specifically dropped frames is entirely about internet connection. I have the OBS stats up, and I've only missed 1 frame due to rendering lag, and 1 frame was skipped due to encoding lag out of over 42,000 frames. So it's entirely the internet. Something about the internet is fucked. Hi, crazy guy. So I'm honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm very hesitant right now to play this game if I'm going to be frustrated by my connection for stream. You think it's another solar flare? Are we having a solar flare? Are we having one? Because, puzzle games can already be frustrating as it is without also simultaneously being frustrated that stream quality is just, dropping and then coming back and then dropping and then coming back. I am wondering about the line collect because so before my stream on Sunday, we actually rebooted the router and the modem just in case, and I was still dropping frames and struggling with that stream. At one point, we were up to, I want to say 15% dropped frames, 16, something like that. The year 7 solar maximum, I mean, it could be a solar flare, but that would suck ass. A lot. And again, you probably can hear me fine, but I probably just stuttered for a bit because I watched it drop to the red. We're in the yellow now. Solar flare activity. Let's see. I don't know how to read this. I see sunspots, corneal holes. Solar flares. In the past 2 hours, it's been going down, question mark? basically, this space weather live website is confusing. A lot of sunspots causing inconsistent radiation waves. Okay, so that could be interfering, but to consistently interfere with my last... Oh my god, when did we first had the dropped frame issues? They were dropping when I was playing with Case last Friday. They were dropping when I played Pal World last Wednesday. So at least a week of streams, if not longer, we've been dropping frames. I would be okay with blaming solar flares if it weren't happening consistently. And it's entirely possible. I just hate having to call them because it's Spectrum and they're a giant pain in my ass. They are a giant pain in my ass. We're down to 33.6% frames dropped, but I see it dropping. I see it hitting the red and then coming back. I don't know what to do, you guys, because I don't want to be angry about dropped frames, but I also want to stream and hang out with you guys and enjoy this, but this is like nonsense. That was letting water get in. Yeah. So the last time I had issues like this, like, it was worse. We were having a lot of packet loss. I couldn't, like, we were dropping the internet. We would have internet outages frequently throughout the day for just a minute or two. We called the company. First they came out and they replaced the modem and the router because, oh, your thing is old. And then they came back out because we were still having problems. And they were like, oh, we'll check the lines. And they said the lines were fine. Well, then they had to come back out and they replaced all the lines going from our house to the pole. And we were still having problems. And we had to bark up so many fucking trees. And by we, I mean Seamus. And it turned out that there was noise in the lines. And what noise in the lines mean is that there's a house that either has a bad modem or router, or their internet's been shut off but not the line or something, and it's backfeeding into the line and fucking up the internet for everybody else on the same pole. And they wouldn't be able to fix it until they figured out which line was causing the noise from somebody else reporting it and could turn it off. So I'm really worried that we're dealing with that kind of shit again. You know, I just had a very interesting idea. A very funny thought, if you will, Seamus. I've been having these problems since Art moved out. So Art was our downstairs tenant. I had no issues streaming until shortly after Art moved out, and I wonder if, because we're seeing some other things where he may not have taken care of things as he should have, I wonder if he never contacted Spectrum about his internet. They always default to, let's replace the modem and router. Again, yeah. Or, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? No, fool. That's why I'm calling you, so that you can tell me that. After I called in and immediately said, I've already tried this solution. So, yeah, that's a very curious thought. I wonder if it could just be our downstairs apartment tenant having left and not done what he was supposed to do is causing noise in our own apartment. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it started... I mean, he hasn't been there for a little while. He had mostly moved out by the middle of June, and I wasn't having issues then. But it is curious. It is curious that this has cropped up right around the same time. So I do wonder. And yeah, Spectrum is a giant pain in the ass to deal with. A giant pain in the ass. We are consistently getting lower on the number of dropped frames. We're down to 29.6. I'm still nervous because I'm watching it dropped into the red, and I'm like, this is not okay. This is absolutely not what I want. I want it to be smooth and good, and I want, if I have a good funny moment, to be able to go back and clip said good funny moment and not have to like panic about things. I just pulled up my own stream so that I can see what it looks like, and I can see the stutter on my own stream, which is terrible as well. Yep, it's frustrating. I'm gonna close the other tab so it's just my tab open, because I know sometimes running other tabs in the background, but it shouldn't be, because the stuff on tabs is on my download speed, and I, as a streamer, am on my upload speed, if I understand how this works correctly. So, like, I don't know. The internet is frustrating. It's magic and it's frustrating. I like magic that I can control. You know what I mean? I want the magic that I can control. We're back in the yellow. And I don't know if the yellow means that we're okay or if we're hiccupy. Yep, I see the hiccup. I don't know what to do, you guys. So I guess for right now, I'm going to just keep chatting until I make a decision. To give it like a little bit of time to kind of see if we can get out of this, because if I remember right, stream kind of smoothed out around the 3-hour mark last time. But I don't want to wait until the 3-hour mark for things to smooth out. In other news today, I had to reschedule my dental crown appointment. So I was supposed to go in for part 1 of 2 of getting a crown on the far back upper tooth in my mouth, because I have a very, very large filling back there. But things have been very stressful in the Saknika Seamus household due to Seamus's job. We did finally get an answer. It is a temporary answer. It's not a great answer, but we have an answer. So that gives us 3 months more of just, this is the status quo kind of thing. So it lowers the anxiety a bit and the stress, but not completely, because we're going to be back in the same situation in 3 goddamn months. But the stress from that screwed up my sleep, and my sleep being screwed up made me damn near miss a client yesterday. Thank God they are a very good client, because I overslept all of my alarms and woke up 20 minutes before their appointment was to start, and I have a minimum of a 30-minute drive. So I threw myself together and got over to the office after texting them. Thankfully, they walk. They are walking distance to my office. So they walk to their appointments, and they were okay with the fact that I had overslept. They didn't have anything else going on. They were like, take your time, don't panic. I understand. So that happened yesterday. I was so paranoid that I was going to miss my appointment this morning for getting the crown part 1, which is file down the tooth and get the temporary put in and make a mold, that like I set multiple alarms, and I still woke up before those alarms after 3 hours of sleep, because holy shit, I had fire guts. Like, my guts were on fire. Nothing else was happening. They were just on fire. So I tried to go to the bathroom, couldn't, went back to sleep. And I would continue to wake up before my alarm would go off for the next, like, hour and a half-ish. And I finally just said, this is ridiculous. I am struggling with my body. And I called them and I just was like, I need to reschedule this. So now what would have been my second appointment after our vacation in the first 2 weeks of August is going to be my first appointment. And this should be good because the vacation in August should give me time to de-stress. Like, de-stress, which I need so badly. I need that so badly right now. I need to de-stress and I need to dopamine detox because I have a dopamine addiction problem. I've told a few people about this. I don't know if I've ever really mentioned it on stream, but I have a dopamine addiction problem and it is so bad. Like, I don't know if any of you have dopamine addictions, but I have a dopamine addiction. I am not diagnosed with ADHD. I suspect that I have some form of it. I suspect that I am probably somewhat on the spectrum somewhere. I don't know. I haven't been tested. So these are all just sneaking suspicions based on what I'm learning as an adult, which will require new and different strategies to work around the things that are cropping up as life situations change. But first step, of course, is getting diagnosed. I digress. I've known for years that I have a dopamine problem because I finally realized it via anime. Of all things, anime. And here's how I realized it. I love anime. Love anime. Like, so much. But the problem is, the more anime I watch, the more picky I get about the anime that I want to watch. And that means that it's harder and harder and harder to find something that I deem watchable. I am looking for a certain emotional response from anime, a certain emotional fulfillment. And I wasn't getting that from a lot of anime because it was just too short, or the story was too shallow, or it wasn't scratching the itch that I needed at the time, and the itch changes. Like, sometimes I just want to watch the anime where the main character is massively overpowered and shitting all over everybody. I don't care how Mary Sue or Gary Sue it is. I just want to watch the main character shit on everybody. Seamus just wants fan service. Sometimes that's what I want. Sometimes I want those, like, romantic comedies. Sometimes I want a harem. Sometimes I want a reverse harem. Sometimes I just want, like, the most thrilling action sequences. I want to see really cool action. Sometimes I'm looking for the mystery, the story. I really want to get involved in it. Like, I have varied tastes, and that's fine. But the itch needs to be scratched. And when I would find an anime that would scratch the itch, I would get fully involved. I would binge watch the fuck out of that anime, and I couldn't stop. That was problem number one. I couldn't stop. I could not physically not watch the next episode. I would stay up so late to watch these anime, and then I would go to work dog shit tired because I had to know what happened. But then there was another phenomenon with this. I would get to the end of the anime. I would have seen the whole thing. I would feel immensely satisfied. And then I would immediately crash. And it's the crash that's the problem. Because I rode up on that beautiful ride, and then I came barreling down. And this is how I realized it's a dopamine addiction, because I could not handle the crash. So I would go searching for another fix. And if I couldn't find one that was as good as the last one, I would get depressed. And that is a bad negative feedback dopamine cycle, as far as I'm aware. I actually had to stop watching anime for the most part because it was so bad. But now I'm seeing it with my computer, right? I'm seeing it with enjoying a game and like really getting into a game and just no-lifing a game. And then all of a sudden, the game isn't scratching the itch anymore. And then I get sad. And I go searching for a different game. The real problem here, though, is I can always find another game to scratch the itch. So I just keep cycling the dopamine up and up and up. And you need bigger... Like, anybody who's ever done drugs understands. You gain a tolerance. And the higher your dopamine tolerance, the more dopamine you need, and the more dopamine you need, the harder it is with this cycle of dopamine addiction. So now I'm into a point where I have to figure out how am I going to regulate the dopamine addiction with the computer. So I'm really thinking, circling right back around to this vacation that's coming up, I'm really thinking, hoping, fingers crossed, that this vacation is going to help me to detach from all this and have the proper dopamine detox that I need. I'm really hoping. And getting a dopamine detox will mean hopefully fixing my sleep schedule. I'm trying to say schedule and cycle at the same time. My sleep cycle. It should help me with my appetite and my energy, because when you're constantly on this like dopamine ride, it screws up your energy levels, and that's not good either. So I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for a little bit of a reconnection with self, because I've definitely lost a little bit of myself in the past 5 years. It's been 5 years since Seamus and I were able to take this vacation. This is something that I grew up taking. It's a family vacation that is just tradition now. I am going to get to hang out with my maternal side of the family. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I'm just so hopeful that it really, really helps me out. Because I absolutely cannot continue with the way things are going right now. I will tell you that much. If I continue on the path that I am on, it is a very self-destructive path, and that's not good. That is absolutely not good. Can't have it. Don't want it. So the first 2 weeks of August, basically, and I think it's going to interrupt many streams. We are leaving August 4th. I probably will not stream August 3rd, which is the Sunday prior, because we're going to be packing and doing last minute preparations. I may not even stream August 1st. I may just limit my streams to the end of July, depending on where we're at for prep, because we are going camping and we have to get the bus ready. So definitely not August 3rd. Definitely not August 6th. Definitely not August 8th. Definitely not August 10th. And definitely not August 13th. So 5 streams minimum. Potentially 6 if I don't stream on the 1st. Will not happen. I should be able to come back by the 15th of August, because we are returning home on the 14th, which is a Thursday. And I think I will be ready to come back, but maybe not. I may take the 15th and just say it's a wash. I'll come back on the 17th. So I'm going to essentially not be here the first 2 weeks of August. And that should be a really good time to just like recenter, refine myself, regain my own personal voice, and get back to, you know, me, which is important. That's very important. So we'll see. We'll see if I can't reset this cycle, and hopefully I come back with a clear enough head that I can start the hunt for a therapist again, because finding a therapist is one of the most arduous tasks out there, I swear. You have to find one that you mesh with. You have to find one that can handle the particulars of your case. You have to find one that can do the things that you need, that can work within your therapeutic needs. And I've been through like 4 therapists already. It's exhausting. So every time you find a new therapist, you have to re-explain your issues all over again. It's starting from scratch. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Okay, let me retest the internet again. I am seeing consistently the frames go down. Percentage-wise, I am still seeing that I am dropping frames. Like right now, I am dropping frames. But I'm curious to see if my upload speed has changed at all. And I appreciate you guys sitting here through this and just waiting. Because this is crazy. Oh no, we're losing upload speed. Download speed went up. Upload speed went down. And that's another reason why I'm hesitant to just not stream right now. Because I do only have essentially 2 weeks of streams left. This is very frustrating. This is extremely frustrating. Oh my gosh, but I keep watching it dip, and even though the dropped frame percentage is going down, it just means in my eyes we're not dropping as consistently. Which is better, but not where I want it. Yeah, and all I need is to have a really good moment and have it screwed over. Okay. I'm questioning it too much. I'm hesitating too much. I'm just gonna call it. Seamus and I are gonna have to call the internet service provider. Something's wrong. Something is absolutely wrong. And this is not okay. This is not okay, and I feel really bad because I want to play this game. I want to play this game, and I don't want to do it, though, if my internet's going to be scuffed and I can't get full enjoyment out of it, because it's not fair to me. It's not fair to you guys. Yeah, it won't be fun if stream is stressing me out. That is very true. So before I go, and I'm not going to raid out from this. Like, we haven't really streamed. We haven't really done anything. I am just going to end the broadcast this time. I will give you guys some suggestions, but before we go, congratulations to my first round of recipients. Esiclis on being the official first, Seamus on being the official second, and Carrie being the official third. And then to my second round, when I actually started Firebot, to Mel by Moonlight being the official first, Phoenix being the official second, and Carrie consistently being the official third. Thank you guys. I really appreciate Carrie and Collect. Both of you resubscribed. I really, really appreciate that. I think I thanked Esiclis originally for the resubscription because she was chatting at the same time as Carrie, but you guys, I see it in my activity feed. Thank you so much. I super, 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 super appreciate that. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you being here listening to me yammer while I try to decide what I was gonna do, but this is just not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I don't want to be stressed out on stream because stream is not working because my internet is being an absolute bag of dicks. It's just not fair. It is not fair. So, in the meantime, places you can go. I'm running another internet test, so I'm slightly distracted. places you can go on right now. We've got Pixie in a Can playing Dead by Daylight. Yeah, internet speed upload went down again. So there's that. Odin is doing more leather crafting. Odin the bearded one, that is. We've got... I have to keep saying load more, load more. Lenessence is playing Overwatch 2 if you're interested in that. Pip-Boy Wasteland is playing Elite Dangerous. Jinx is playing Song of Horror. Yeah, we've got some options. We've got some options. So those are all places that I can recommend that you go. Most of these are in my Discord in the recommended stream section if you want to check it out. I really apologize that this is just not going to work. We will call the internet service provider. We will call Spectrum and bitch, because this is entirely an internet issue. I still have not lost any frames, any more frames than that one frame due to rendering or encoding lag. So it's not my computer. It is not my graphics card. It is the internet. And we're going to have to sort it out. Thank you guys for being here while you could. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I feel really bad about this. Go ahead, get your booty in the Discord if you want to hang out. In the meantime, maybe I will share a game in there and we'll just like hang out and vibe, because Discord doesn't care as much about my internet as Twitch does. All right, you guys, have a good one. Like I said, I'm not raiding. I've never not raided, but we're not raiding. I'm not gonna do that. I will see you guys hopefully on Friday. I might cancel doing the baking stream to play Felix the Reaper. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Saturday we have funeral services for my godmother's father. So I don't think I could stream on Saturday to make up for it. So we'll figure it out. Have a good night, you guys. Again, I'm sorry. Thank you for putting up with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Make sure you take a moment to practice some self-care. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you love you, because you're all wonderful and I appreciate you. Have a good night, friends.